What's up guys, Scary Crow here, and today we are going to be unboxing, setting up, demoing, and reviewing the Demonic Gatekeeper from Spirit Halloween. I purchased this guy last year, but I never made an unboxing video, so that's what we're going to be doing today. We're excited to show him to you guys, so let's get right into this unboxing. Alright, so I'm going to start off here by just opening up his box. Keep in mind, this is not what it would look like if you were opening it for the first time. I've already unboxed this guy, so it's just going to be a little messy. First off, right here we have his instructions. Take this out. This is his fog hose. Set this down and show it to you guys. This is for his fog capabilities. I will not be showing you guys his fog capabilities, but stay tuned until Halloween because then I'll have him plugged in with fog. Here is his clothing. It's very large. When I show you all the parts at once, I will have that spread out so you can see more what it looks like. Here's his adapter in the box. Here's his base. This base is quite small. Alright, so there are a couple parts left here. It's looking like his hands, head, and his main mechanism. So I'm going to take those all out. It's going to be a little bit tricky, I think. So I'm going to go for his hand first. Alright, so I just got his left hand out of the box. It is huge. There's a hand comparison with mine. His proportions are very large, so he isn't really that tall, but since his head and hands and everything is so huge, he's just like overall a large prop. Like next up, the easiest thing is to get out is going to be his head, so I'm going to go ahead and get that. Alright, so right here is his huge head. Let me zoom out a little. Here's a comparison with my hand. He is huge, as you can see. There's his cord. Let's take some more stuff out. Over here we have his other huge right hand. Alright, right here is his mechanism, so I'm going to go ahead and take this out. So here it is laying out, and this sort of orangey fabric is hot glued to it. I'm trying to see if I can show you. It looks like his pole is caught in there, so I'll show you guys what the actual mechanism and control box look like in a second. The final piece in the box was this cord here. This attaches to his fog machine so that it can coordinate the fog with his activation. Alright, time for an overview of all of his parts. Starting off over here, we have his main mechanism and control box. This is what it looks like without the fabric. As you can see, there's two LED lights there. That's going to give him his fire effect. There's his rising mechanism and obviously the control box. Over here is his clothes. When you lay it all out like this, it takes more of a form. It's pretty generic. It's just some gray hooded robe sort of thing. Standard for a Reaper. Here is that fog cord. Here's the fog hose. Right here are his instructions and his adapter. This is his base, his hand, this is his right hand, his head, and his left hand. Alright, let's get to the setup. Alright, for your first step, you're going to want to just get his base in a nice open space. You're going to attach his mechanism piece. You'll attach it is via a snap lock on the right and left pull. It's a pretty simple step. Now that this piece is attached to the base, you're going to want to put his clothing over his shoulder form. Alright, now his clothing is on. It looks a little bit messy. I will be adjusting it before I show you guys the demo. Step is to attach his head. There's a pull right here with a snap lock, and you're just going to put on his head. His head is all attached. There was a wire coming from his head for the lights in his head and his mouth movement, and just thread it down the back of his shirt. I'll show you how I did it. I just have it coming down the back here towards his control box. It's pretty simple. There's not really like a hole in that plastic, so you're just going to have to go like around the back of it towards the control box, but it's a decently long wire, so it'll connect. Next, I'm going to recommend that you pull up his hood and Velcro it to his head. There'll be a Velcro on the inside of the hood, and then there's a Velcro strip on his head right here that you can see, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Alright, now that his hood is on, it's going to be easier to adjust the clothing to attach his hands. So there's no real arm piece. It's just his hand, and you just Velcro it to the Velcro strip that'll be on kind of his wrist area. And it's the same on both sides, so I'm going to do both sides right now. Alright, and with that, your setup is almost complete. Really, the last step is to plug in the adapter and to attach his fog hose and his cord here that attaches to the fog machine. I'm not demoing his fog capabilities today, so I won't be setting those up, but it's pretty simple. there's just like a couple things you got to connect that are a little bit extra. So now that he's pretty much all done, I'm just going to plug in his adapter, connect all of the wires, adjust his clothing, and we'll get to a demo.
I have been patiently waiting. Your destiny now lies with me. Abandon all hope. There is no escape. Your soul is mine. This is the point of no return. Your cries and screams are futile. I am the guardian of tormented souls. You have crossed over into my world. Now you will endure eternal pain.
Alright, so you just saw the demos for my Demonic Gatekeeper. If you have seen the demos, let's get into the review portion of this video. Alright, I'm going to start off with my pros. First of all, his size. He is only 4'9", so you'd think he'd be a small prop, but really, he has a big stature due to his proportions. His hands and head are absolutely ginormous. This really makes up for the fact that he's less than 5 feet tall. He also has a pretty generic Reaper look, but his size, again, makes up for it just because it's just such a huge scale that, like, I don't really care about the clothing. The clothing itself, though, is nice quality, and I do enjoy the fact that there are a couple different layers with the creepy cloth and the actual, like, robe itself and the layer of orange fabric below. Fortunately, he is not weatherproof, but a lot of props really aren't weatherproof, so I don't really care too much about that. I don't really tend to leave this guy outside for that long anyway. Now for my cons. First off, his box is huge. I don't have it right next to me right now, so I can't show it to you guys, but it is like, you'd think he'd be like at least 10 feet tall with the size of his box, seriously. It's kind of crazy. I understand that it's because of his large proportions, but it's just very difficult to store. Another con I have is the mouth clacking. I know some people's don't actually have that problem, but mine, it just goes clack, clack, clack. And when you turn the volume up all the way, you can't hear it, but I had the volume pretty loud for the demos, and I believe you could still hear it, at least where I'm standing, maybe not on camera. But that is just something that it really pisses me off, so that's kind of unfortunate that he suffers from that problem. Although I don't really have any other complaints, he has a simple setup, and he's a great prop. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm super excited to make more content during the fall. I believe I'll have more content to make as there'll be more Halloween stuff. You know, stores will be coming out with new things. I'll do store tours, all that stuff. I also have a brand new for 2025 animatronic on the way, so stay tuned for an unboxing next week. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys all in the next video.